Hi there, everybody, and a very, very warm welcome to the Patricia Kerins show on Gift of Healing TV. So, once again, it's Tuesday night and we're ready to rock and roll. We've always got something different to give you, and yet again, a very different musician and sound healer joining us tonight. So I'm just going to give him, to begin with, a very warm welcome to Chris Thorn. Hi there, how are you?
Very much for inviting me onto your program tonight.
Okay, thanks, Chris. It's lovely to see you. And of course, you've brought your wonderful didgeridoo with you. So that kind of gives it away, folks, because that's what we're going to be doing. And Chris is known as the Didgeridoo Dude or the Didgeridoo Man. And he has been playing the didgeridoo since 1998, about 18 years now. And it all started with a gift. And it's the gift of a didgeridoo, and that has totally changed his life. And up until very recently, he was also working as a mental health nurse. But now he's thrown all of that away in the last month, and he's devoting his entire life to healing with the very powerful sound of the didgeridoo. And of course, he finds it very relaxing and calming. That's just for himself. But, it has those effects as it changes our cellular structure when we receive it, indeed our molecular structure. So if you're listening to this, please chill out, get into a nice place where you can absorb the wonderful sounds of Chris's didgeridoo. But you know what? That's a kind of very brief potted history of Chris. He was born in Somerset and he is now living in Wrexham. He got engaged very recently. And we're going to kick off by hearing about some of the history of the didgeridoo and its origins. So, Chris, again, warm welcome, and it's over to you. Tell us all about it.
Well, I think we all know that the didgeridoo comes from Australia, but more specifically Northern Territory, Australia. And we also know through fairly recent discoveries of cave paintings in the Northern Territory that the didgeridoo was used for healing. Quite clearly depicted lying on the floor, somebody with a broken bones, looked like a broken leg, period of time, stood over the top of them holding what looks like a didgeridoo. It could only be a didgeridoo.
Wow.
Now the Aborigines, they actually discovered that it had a significant effect. The sound of the didgeridoo had a significant effect on living tissue, increased blood supply, cellular activity. People would heal from any ailment, be it physical or mental, if they were at least in the vicinity of somebody playing the didgeridoo. So 40,000 years, reputedly the oldest musical instrument known to man. I think perhaps on a par with the drum, and of course, unless you're a vocalist, in which case you'll say, no, it's not your voice, it's movements.
That's absolutely amazing. Who would have thought 40,000 years? And you're right, the drum, I guess, may be as old as that too. But okay, you told me earlier that you got the gift of a didgeridoo, and that's really what began your interest in it. But tell us a bit more about that. Tell us how it's changed your life since you got that gift.
Well, I was always attracted to the sound of the didgeridoo. Musical instrument, music festivals that I used to go to, I'd find myself at stalls where there'd be a didgeridoo. And sure enough, I had one bought me as a Christmas present. Now, I've later found out why I was so attracted to the sound of the didgeridoo. People that were having sound healing on a one-to-one basis, who were up on a therapy couch, were wired up to an EEG, an electroencephalograph, and it showed there was a predominance of theta and delta brain waves. So it has a physiological effect on your brain waves. That theta and delta is the same as when you're in that sleep, dream-like, altered state of relaxation. So that's obviously why I was all attracted to it. Now, I learned to play pretty quickly. 20 minutes a day minimum I used to practice, which they say any more of that you can sort of get overload. And up to that point, it was always the guitar. I'd go around hospices and schools singing these. I'd be on the guitar, but the guitar, well, it just started collecting dust, and it was all didgeridoo from then. It wasn't too much later that I actually did a sound healing workshop and learned to play as you would in the healing. When you're healing, and the different techniques that you'd use, and I soon started collecting them. I think once you've got one or two didgeridoos, it's like having a tattoo, even more. So,
wow. Well, okay. Do you have quite a collection? You've probably got loads of them. But I wanted to ask you about this circular breathing. Was that difficult to learn? Because I know that's what you have to do.
Obviously, getting the basic drone on the didgeridoo is reasonably easy. Some people get it, just pick up a didgeridoo and they can get it straight away. But keeping that going is something different. And yes, the breathing is called circular breathing. You cannot physically breathe in and out at the same time, so you have to work out ways and tricks of being able to continually keep the didgeridoo going. It's quite hard to explain. It's quite hard to learn, but I actually managed to learn quite quick. I remember about 3 or 4 days I could play circular breathe, so I was quite pleased with my.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Well, okay, let's shall we do, I think you do a sort of meditation before you play, but I think our viewers would love to hear and see you playing the didge, and obviously just talk them through what they need to do to get the best from it. Chris, that would be wonderful. So everybody, this is probably going to last about 10 minutes, so just get comfy and cozy, I think, and Chris will tell you what to do. Here we go.
That's great. Okay, I'd like you all to just close your eyes for now. Just close your eyes and just concentrate on your breathing. I want you to take big breaths in and big breaths out. But I want you to imagine that on the out breath, you're breathing out any tension. And on the in breath, you're breathing in relaxation. So let's just do a quick scan from head to foot. So starting with your face, are you aware of any tension? Just pinpoint any tension and breathe it out. Big breaths in and out. And now your neck and your shoulders, clenching a fist, tight. And just release, breathe it out and let it go. And now your trunk and your back muscles, so just tightening your muscles. Tight and release. Just for a second, just be aware of the difference in sensation between tension and relaxation. And now your buttocks. So tighten your buttocks together. Tight and release. Now lastly, your legs. Both legs together. Tight, curling your toes. And release. breathing it out and letting it go. As you begin to breathe normally, big breaths in and out, relaxed as you sink down into the ground, into the sofa, into the floor, supporting your weight, totally supported like you always are. Now I want you to imagine you're on a magic carpet and you're going to fly off to a place of your choice. It could be a long sandy beach, or it could be the top of a hill somewhere. But that place is going to be away from pain, physical pain and mental pain, and it's going to create a wonderful feeling of well-being, and that feeling of well-being is going to stay with you long after I finish playing tonight. So are you ready? You're on that magic carpet now, and you're about to take off. Well, there we have a very, very short taster of the power of didgeridoo sound healing. It usually lasts for an hour and a half, so you can see what a short.
That's fabulous, Chris. Thanks ever so much. I'm just coming back here. It definitely takes you away to a beautiful, beautiful place. And I know that you've recorded 6 CDs. You were saying,
Yes.
and the last one was the Song of the Sirens. That must be very haunting.
Well, the inspiration came from my fiance Rachel and her friend Kirsty, who are starting something called the Siren School, and it is for women's retreats, confidence building. Um, they're training to become mermaids. So the inspiration was about the story of the mermaids. So it's the album itself is the sea, the didgeridoo, and then female vocals, which are meant to be the mermaids, calling you down deeper under the sea. And then I use a very bassy didge to mimic the sound of down in the depths of the oceans, and it's extremely powerful and wonderfully ambient and relaxing for meditation. And I've started using that for my sound baths as backing, with great success so far. Just 3 times so far, but it's been a great success.
Well, that's just wonderful, and I'll just tell everybody that that can be purchased if you go to www.didgeridoohealing.co.uk. I'm going to spell that DIDGERIDOO healing.co.uk. So that and all the other CDs are available there, but that's not all that's available there. No. There's repairs, didgeridoos, and he also sells them. Now, obviously, it's something you would have to try out probably, but that's the other thing. He attends lots of events around the country, so he's available, let's put it like that. He's also available for doing talks and presentations. So, you know, he's your man. He is the Digidude, as we call him. But that was wonderful. Chris, thank you ever so much for coming on. We feel honoured that you should bless us with your company tonight. And we hope that this TV programme will go out and that many people will benefit from what you've done tonight, and also spread the word about lovely healing. And I know you feel kind of compelled, as it were, to go on and do a little more training. And tell us a little about that. We've got a little bit of time.
Well, at the moment I'm doing my massage diploma based on the Swedish model, so Swedish massage. And I'm hoping to get that finished in the next 2 weeks, but I've got to do my anatomy and physiology, which as a nurse you think I'd fly through, but I can't. And a follow-on from that, I'm going to do my hot stone massage. That will go hand in hand. But later in the year, I'm doing my sound healing training. I think it's come a time where I need more broaden my deeper, have a deeper knowledge really of frequencies and so hopefully I think that's June, July time I'm doing that.
Okay. Well, I wish you luck with that, and I don't think I've met anyone that flies through their anatomy and physiology. It's always challenging, that one. But
it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing as working as a nurse in my life.
Well, so your new therapy business that you've really committed to 100%, it has now taken off, and of course it embraces all the beautiful massage as well, and I've had one, so I know how lovely they are. And we will wish you all the very best with that, Chris. I'm sure it will be a great success. So thank you again for coming along, and I'm sure we'll bump into each other at something along the way. But just, I'll just,
thank you for having me.
Oh, no, you're very, very welcome. And basically, we've just got a few minutes left this evening or wherever you're listening in the world. And I was going to tell you that next time, which is a fortnight tonight, I'm going to be doing an evening of balancing your chakras, and I'll be using the voice to do that. And what we'll do is we'll just take some time to do some lovely breathing, a little bit of a visualization, just as Chris did with you this evening, and then we will go through each chakra and bring the right sound to that, whatever's right for you, of course, and using the power of your own voice, because it's a very powerful healing tool. And once you really learn to use it to great effect, it's about activating also the power of your intention and taking that authority, if you like, over your own body and being able to heal it and release old emotions, all that kind of thing, and get rid of viruses and bacteria and parasites. When we take control, you see, we can do just about anything. We're pretty miraculous, we are, when we really get into it, you know. And again, I would just like to thank Sarah, who's always very quietly in the background, but she's there to pick us up should anything catastrophic happen in internet land. And so thank you so much, Sarah, for producing the show tonight. And it's really been a great pleasure to have you on, Chris. And I think you know that we have cancelled the big show that we were going to have early March in Glasgow, but we will. It's almost like a postponement. We're hoping to pick that up in the autumn.
That's
so
brilliant.
Hoping you'll come up to Glasgow then.
Definitely. I purchased the van especially for it.
That's great. And the usual suspects, shall I say, Tim Peter, and you know, that would be great. So that's what I'm doing next time. I've got webinars out there. I've got a new webinar, Love Business, just how to implement bringing love into every aspect of your business, because it can be and is, I believe, the secret ingredient to everything. And because I work with the voice, it really is about occupying your voice, reconstructing your voice, and bringing love into your voice and using that as well. And I notice when I work with people, I was talking to Jo Beth Young not so long ago. She's just relaunched herself as Calate, but she says that since we did some work together, her voice has really it's deepened, it's much richer, there's more of it, and that's what happens. More of you comes to the party. And it's just as you reclaim. It's like soul retrieval, and it shows up through the voice. So I'm really looking forward to working with you in a couple of weeks' time and get that going for you. So Love Business webinar. I've been invited to do workshops in Peebles and Dundee and Glasgow. I've been asked to do an evening workshop there by the Holistic Festivals people. So I'll be doing that. And I've been asked to speak at a peace gathering in George's Square in Glasgow, and I'll be singing that song that I told you, this new rock. This is the next #1, Chris, watch out for this. It's called Love Power, and it's a bit of a rocky number, and we'll get everybody singing that at this peace gathering in George Square in Glasgow. And we're doing it the night before the James Twyman gathering. He originally was going to do the 31st of January, and he's going to be leading prayers and sound overlooking the ISIL encampments in Syria. And so that was why we arranged this complimentary thing in Scotland on the 31st. He's now changed to the 1st of February, but we'll just, you know, we can send it in time through to coincide. So we're hoping to get hundreds of people into the heart of Glasgow, the centre of Glasgow. So there's a lot coming up, and yes, so it's really an exciting time. Just back from France, and beautiful energies there. Those of you who know me well know I work with the Magdalene, and her presence there was mighty. So yes, I think we'll be going backwards and forwards to France now, folks. So just lovely, just a lovely place, very soft energy, just beautiful. And I'll be running retreats there. So a lot happening. I thought it was going to be a sort of medium start to the year, but it's actually been very buzzy. So we look forward to sharing more with you in a fortnight's time. Lots of love to you all. Thanks again, Chris. Thanks again, Sarah. And we'll speak again soon. Bye.
Bye.